Hey, man, CGA Sports back in here. I hope you guys can hear me very well. What a morning for me already. I'm a little bit under the weather, but we got to get this show on the road. We got to talk about our NFL Week 11 preview. I realized I did not do my Week 10 review, and it didn't matter. I was horrible in the pick'ems. All right, I think it was the first time I was under 500 in the pick'ems, but this is a new week, and the week is already getting started off. And we'll go ahead and preview week 11 of the NFL. But interesting development, Joe Burrow out for the season. So if you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan, you are definitely in a bind. If you're an Ohio NFL sports fan, you are in a bind. All right. You definitely are looking at it as Deshaun Watson goes out for the remainder of the season. We're losing NFL quarterbacks like crazy. Maybe the second most important position for any NFL team is the backup quarterback. All right, the backup quarterback needs some money. All right, and these NFL franchise quarterbacks are going down in flames. A record 10 rookie NFL starters this year, a record. All right, and most of them were not projected to start. I mean, we lost Anthony Richardson. All right, that was one of the only rookies projected to start. CJ Stroud is going crazy. But, yeah, you got a lot of NFL quarterbacks. Most of your big money quarterbacks are down in flames. And we're going to review that real quick here. All right, so NFL Week 11, how you guys doing? Hopefully, if you're putting money on the games, you might even be doing good or bad. And here's the deal. If you didn't know, the Cincinnati Bengals went ahead and started Joe Burrow. Possibly he was injured prior to the game and was not listed on the injury report. They went ahead and started him anyway, and then he went down in the game. I was on a live stream during that part of the game, but I did had a couple of coins on the game. I had an over and under. All right, and so a lot of people thought Cincinnati was going to do pretty well, right? People thought Cincinnati was going to make a run. I thought Cincinnati was going to make a run to the playoffs, and somebody sending cash apps. All right, shout out to Dr. Thunder, says Burrow down again, coach. Say it ain't so. And Joe Burrow, yeah, he's a fragile dadgel. All right, but what happens is a lot of people put money on the Bengals to win because they thought they were going to make a playoff run in a tough, competitive AFC North, especially with the Cleveland Browns down. You thought this is the perfect time. All right, the Ravens peaking early right now. They looking unstoppable, but the Bengals are the Bengals. They're the Super Bowl Bengals, and they thought I looked at the Bengals as a playoff team. And if you bring Joe Burrow into the game with an injury, test him out, but he's not on the injury report. Wouldn't that skew the betting proposition for people who are placing bets, right? You think Joe Burrow's healthy. You don't see him on the injury report. The Bengals don't put him on the injury report. You say the Bengals can beat the Ravens, but then when the game starts, he's got a taped up wrist. Right? Isn't that crazy? Like, you would be like, hold up. I wouldn't have put money on the Bengals if Joe Burrow came in limping. And that's exactly what happened. And it happened to me too. I'd had 50 cents on the game. Right? I had 50 cents on the game, but I had it on the over. Now, the funny thing is, by the time I got done with my stream, I go down and I look and I see Joe Burrow's out of the game. And they say Joe Burrow has left the field. And I'm like, what is going on? At that particular point, I needed like 17 points to cover. All right, I was sitting there like, oh, Lord, have mercy. Listen, the Ravens were off to a good start. But I'm like, wait a minute. Joe Burrow is good for a fourth quarter comeback. In the middle of the third quarter, I figure we can get 17 points. And I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, yo, all right. Now, listen, if you're looking at an over-under bet and Joe Burrow's not playing in the game, you certainly don't go over. You say that's an under. But anyway, funny thing is they covered. All right. I don't know what happened. I think it was a late touchdown, too. They got a late touchdown to cover the over. And then I think even the Baltimore Ravens scored too late. I think the Ravens scored at about 4 minutes left, and then the Bengals scored with about a minute and something less to a touchdown to Jamar Chase, which, they were still down 14. But I'm looking at it as, they barely covered. Jesus. So here's the deal. Let me go ahead and pop this up here. Yep. My man said, never bet on the Cowboys. Yeah. Some teams I just stay away from the Cowboys. All right. So everybody knows Barstool Sports and Dave Portnoy Dave Portnoy right now is going at NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue. No, wait a minute. All right, it's not Paul Tagliabue. I'm showing my age here. But Dave Portnoy has something to say about this Bengal thing because, betting is a big deal. And so he has this video. I'm going to play this video, and you can see what he's doing. This is a skit, but he tagged the NFL commissioner on this one. And Pete Rozelle, NFL commissioner, Pete Rozelle, you know what I mean? But he tagged the commissioner on this one, and he's specifically talking about this Bengal deal. Let me go ahead and roll the clip.
Hi there. My name's Dave Portnoy. My father is an attorney, Michael J. Portnoy. Have you lost money betting on the NFL? Did you bet on the Bengals on Monday night against the Ravens, thinking Joe Burrow was healthy, only to find out after the fact that he had a brace on his hand coming out of the bus? It was not listed on the injury report. That is unfair. You're the victim. Here at Portnoy and my dad, Michael J. Portnoy law firm, we protect grieved gamblers from these atrocities from Roger Goodell and the Cincinnati Bengals. I will be filing a class action lawsuit on behalf of all grieved gamblers. So join me as we fight for the people, for every man, to get rightfully what is ours. The injury report exists for a reason. If you are not on the injury report, that means you're healthy. If you get off the bus wearing a brace around your hand, that means unhealthy. We expect when we put our hard-earned money to work, we get a fair value, fair shot. Gambling is legal in this country. Who will protect the gamblers? I will, through my dad, Michael J. Portnoy, attorney at law, class action lawsuit. Join me protecting you.
All right. And so, man, this is interesting. David Portnoy here trolling the NFL commissioner, Paul Rozelle. And at this particular point, or Pete Tagliabue, at this point, man, gambling is one of those things, man. I would shudder to say we've jumped the shark if we have a class action lawsuit against gambling, because it's gambling, right? So, you know what I mean? It's a part of the game. It's a part of the game. Gambling is a part of the game. And so, but I also look at it as, man, this would be a turn. This would be like Cassie suing Diddy for $100 million. All right. Because what they're doing is essentially saying, I knew what I was getting into. I knew the risk, but the other person didn't play fair. And then I lost. All right. And then therefore I'm going to sue. This is exactly what's happening here. This is exactly what's happening. All right. So down the line, years down the line, weeks down the line, you just come in and be like, hey, you know what? Hey, man, listen, I have a sports gambling vice. I'm addicted. But hey, I was injured because, this will be a turning point in this country, because listen, and don't put it past America to actually have these lawsuits heard. I don't think there's going to be an actual class action lawsuit. I don't think there could be a class action lawsuit. It might get thrown out. They were like, hey, Ninja, it's gambling. Gambling's been, sports have been somewhat fixed for the most part for a long time. So how far are we going to go back? How far are we going to go back to these things there? Is there a statute of limitations as a part of this? All right. So anyway, somebody said, I suddenly understand Cassie. Yeah. Now you see what's happening here. Cassie makes sense now when you're like, wait a minute. He didn't play fair. They didn't put him on an injury report. However, I was damaged no matter what. I was abused. All right. So anyway, man, enough of the bungles here. Let's see if that actually happens. Somebody said he had 100K on the game. 100K. You can write off your gambling losses, though. That's something. If you are an addict, you can write them gambling losses off. I don't know how you would listen. I've never done any of these things, but anyway. Man, week 12 NFL. Speaking of the Ravens and the Bungles are done. Ring the bell on them. It's over. And that's how fast your season can be over. Just an injured quarterback, and it's a rap ski. Bengals come in limping, literally. And the Bengals are done. Did you see that backup quarterback they had? He was about to do nothing. It was just about as bad as watching the University of Colorado backup quarterback. He was terrible. Man. All right. And so if you didn't see the game last night, Colorado got their ass whipped. It was definitely, I put the under on that game. Lost. Right. All right. Because Colorado got down 42-7 at halftime. Jesus. This is pathetic. All right, Deion Sanders needs to really seriously revamp, and does Shador Sanders come back? Anyway, that's another story. We got the the Bengals going down 5-5. They might not win another game. It's going to be hard pressed to win another game. Joe Burrow out for the season. Ravens rolling, and they're lights out right now. Do the Ravens win the Super Bowl? Do the Ravens win the Super Bowl? I said they are never going to win the Super Bowl with one quarterback, Lamar Jackson. All right, they might put me to shame. All right, most of my predictions come true. Let's get ready for some football here. Speaking of the AFC North, you have the luckiest team in the NFL, which are the Pittsburgh Steelers. They can barely score 21 points a game. Somehow they sit at 6-3. Mike Tomlin is a genius. Love me some Mike Tomlin. Pause. But 6-3 for these teams. Both of these teams are seemingly offensive lacking, and they're both sitting at 6-3. Something needs to be said about the AFC North, the most unpredictable division in football. And I don't know who's going to win this game because I had my first week under 500. But let me go ahead and pull up. Let me go ahead and pull up the odds here. NFL betting lines real quick just to see what Vegas is talking about. Maybe we can get a better idea of what we're looking at. We're going to go to DraftKings, but I'm not sponsored by them. Definitely not sponsored by them. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers being a underdog dog at the dog pound, and the Cleveland Browns favored by 2 points. Over and under gotta be low. All right, 33 points. Man, these lows are the lowest of lows, man. 33 points. They're looking at a 13-10 game. 13-10. Pittsburgh covers. What do you think? I got the Browns on this one, man. But again, I've been betting against the Steelers all season long, and they've been disappointing me. Oh, just somebody said it. Brown 13-10. That's what I said. All right, we're thinking alike. This is going to be an ugly game. Shout out to Connor Brown. We're both thinking the same way. Do not place a bet. All right, give me that under. Yeah, I can't imagine these two teams are going to light up the scoreboard. All right, so who we got next? Who we got next here? Okay, hold on for a second. My screen is messed up. Why is it on week 12? All right, I'm going back to the future. All right, we got our team, the Raiders. Oh, Lord. 10 o'clock game, Eastern Seaboard. All right, Atlantic Coast game. This means it's going to be a fat L for the Raiders. I mean, listen, we do not play well in this time zone. This is 10 a.m. Eastern Pacific Standard Time, by the way. We are absolutely atrocious in this time zone. We're atrocious when we wear the white jerseys in this time zone. This one's going to be a fat L. I'm going to be done by halftime. More than likely, I'm going to be able to do something else with my day. I'm going to have my whole Sunday ahead of me. I'm going to be able to edit film. All right, I need to catch up on my editing. I'm pretty sure, certainly by halftime, I'm going to be done with this game. And I'll be broke, busted, and disgusted. Right? And then this is going to set the Raiders on a pretty difficult path for the next 5 games. Yes, Antonio Pierce is 2-0. But this is going to be bad. All right, because the next games for the Raiders, the next 5 games are a gauntlet. They have one of the toughest remaining schedules in the NFL. You have the Dolphins, the Chiefs at home after Thanksgiving weekend on Thanksgiving weekend, then the Vikings at home after a bye, then the Chargers at home. You got some home cooking, but these are 2 and 3 and 4 teams. And then you got the Chiefs on the road. Then you go to Indy, and then Denver is hot. Holy mackerel. Man, you better, this is why, here's the deal. This is why the Raiders were celebrating like they won the Super Bowl the past 2 weeks, smoking cigars in the locker room. You got to celebrate small victories because there's not that many victories left on the schedule. Ninja, they better get hot. They better get hot. Right, they better get hot because I'm looking at this schedule. It's a gauntlet. The Vikings are hot right now. The Broncos are hot. All right, the Colts are doing pretty decent with Gordon Minshew under the center. You got the Chiefs twice and the San Diego Superchargers. Not only that, the Super Dolphins, man. All right, F1 is in Miami. Hi. Jesus. There's not that many wins there. All right, there's not that many wins. All right, no, Jimmy G is sitting on the bench. He's been benched. All right, but I appreciate the Raiders, man. I love them, but I don't see much. I don't see much in there. Y'all gonna have to show me something this weekend for me to put some. I don't put money on the Raiders, by the way. All right, so why am I keep seeing week 12? All right, let's go with the game that's going to be a blowout. The Detroit Lions, 7-2. They're real. They're real against the Chicago Bears. Justin Fields. Why did I call him Jimmy? Justin Fields is going to start for the Bears. All right, man, if you're a Bears fan, are you looking to get Justin Fields back in the game? He's going to start in this game. And this is sad for Justin Fields because the Bears kind of got some confidence. They're feeling good about themselves. They beat a couple of teams. They look bad against a couple of teams with the backup quarterback in there. But Justin Fields comes back against the Lions. I mean, damn, can I come back against somebody we can win? Can I look good? All right, the Lions about to rickroll or steamroll the Chicago Bears. Justin Fields is going to come back and try to take control of the team, but it's going to be ugly. Let's see what the betting line is on this one right here. I'm calling it. The Detroit Cowardly Lions favored by 8. They'll cover. They'll cover over and under 48 points. All right. Who's going to score 48 points? All right. This is a bad game to come back. If I was Justin Fields, I'd be like, can I come back next week? All right, listen, I'm still not ready to go. Who do they got next week? Vikings. It doesn't look good. And the Lions. Jesus. If I'm Justin Fields, I'd sit out a couple of 3 games. I sit out. All right, we got the Lions with the win going to 8-2. All right, next game. All right, hold on for a second. I got to fix something on my thing here. All right, because it keeps messing up. Next game, we're going to go Titans and Jaguars. The Jaggies absolutely laid a fat egg last week against the Niners. I actually had the Niners going down. Niners recover from their free fall into second place. They recover with a win, and they actually just pathetically beat up the Jaguars. The Jaguars are who I thought they were. Tennessee Titans put up no fight. I think the Tennessee Titans are pretty much done this season. You can say so. I don't know if they found their quarterback of the future, Will Levis, but you got the Jaguars needing to get back off. All right, and back in their momentum right there. They looked absolutely pathetic last week, and I give the Jaguars the nod here at home. Although they were at home against the Niners and laid a fat egg, they're favored by 6.5 points over under 39.5. That means the Jags are going to put up the majority of that. Tennessee, not so much. All right, they've been the most disappointing team in the NFL. All right, right now, do they shut down their running back? Yeah. All right, yeah. Tennessee's trying to tank, and I don't know what they're trying to find there. I don't know what they're trying to find. All right, what do we got next coming up? Next game, we got the Chargers and the Packers. The Packers have been a gigantic disappointment this year. All right, Jordan Love ain't that dude. They might need to give him some time, but he ain't that dude. And anytime I had a couple of 50 cent on the Packers, they always disappoint me. Always. And normally it's some over-under. Normally it's them to cover, and they always shit the bed. And I don't expect them to do anything better than that. The Chargers need a win. They need a win with the Raiders at 5-5. The Chargers need a win because the Denver Broncos is hot on their heels. And the Chargers looking at finishing last place if they goof up right here in Green Bay. 10 a.m. start. Chargerinos in the cold. We got to check the weather in Green Bay. That'll let us know. Let me see what the weather is in Green Bay real quick. Weather in Green Bay, Wisconsin. That might have something to do with it. All right, we got 47 degrees, 9-mile-an-hour wind, a little bit of sun. They can chuck and duck the ball. I got the Chargers here. Let me see who's the favorite. I got the Chargers because the Packers are absolutely pathetic. The San Diego Superchargers win this game over under 44. And I think this week I do have the Las Vegas handicapper, one of the best handicappers in Las Vegas, sports better. We're looking at doing a collaboration, maybe a show coming up here because we got the NFL finishing up. NBA is hot and thick. College basketball starting up. So if you want him to appear on the show, let me know. It'll be fun to hear his interpretation of what he looks like at sports. But I got the Chargers with the win right there. Green Bay going down. Anyway. All right, who we got next? The Cardinals, another one. I picked them to lose, and guess who comes back? All right, the little guy with the football. All right, Kyler Murray comes back and gets a dub. What are the Cardinals doing? What are the Cardinals doing? Are they tanking? Somebody fill me in. All right, I would love to know what the Cardinals are trying to do this year. All right, because they get rid of their second string quarterback who was basically starting. They give him up to Minnesota. He goes over there and he's kicking tail. You figure they're going to tank. Kyler Murray then says, I want to play football too. Then he comes back after a year on the men. He comes back in. They're supposed to be tanking. They're supposed to just be covering bets. And then Kyler Murray comes in and he puts on a show. And they get the dub. What is going on here? I mean, what is going on with the NFL? What are they saying? Like 3 wins will get you the number 1 draft pick? Cardinals sitting at 2-8. I thought they were just going to tank the rest of the season. Well, we got the Houston Texans rookie of the year, prospective rookie of the year, CJ Stroud. I got Houston on this one because I can't imagine Arizona would actually want to win a 3rd game. I mean, that's actually the worst thing they could do, especially if they're looking to shop Kyler Murray. Houston Texans is the favorite in this one by 6. I don't know if I'll take the points because the Cardinals, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I normally would take the Cardinals on the points. They don't know what they want to do. It's the Cardinals, though. The Cardinals are one of the worst run franchises in the history of franchises. They'll never win a Super Bowl. Never. And I said that before they went to the Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers when they had that damn Kurt Warner. All right, I was like, they ain't going to win. And then with like 2 minutes left, I was like, they're going to win. And then 2 feet in the back of the end zone by Pittsburgh. And I was like, that's what I thought. All right, but anyway, the Cardinals are an atrociously run organization. All right, there's several teams that are never going to win the NFL championship. The Cardinals are one of them. All right, the Chargers are another one. They ain't never going to win. All right, so don't even put it in your pipe and smoke it. Arizona, barely going to do anything. They're terribly run. All right, Arizona's never going to win the championship, so I don't know what you're thinking about rooting for these individuals. All right, so it is what it is. And the other organization is the Lions. They never going to win. The New York Jets has won, so I got to give them the nod there. Yeah. And the Atlanta Falcons never going to win the Super Bowl. So listen, just be a fan, rah-rah. They're never going to hoist the trophy. Right? Here we go right here. And put the Cleveland Browns in there while you're at it. All right, anyway. But let's just say the Jets won Super Bowl 3. When I was in the stadium, the Jets fans were in the stadium in Las Vegas. There were people literally wearing sweatshirts and T-shirts and jerseys with the Super Bowl 3 patch on it. I was like, damn, the Super Bowl 3 patch. All right, so at this particular point, the Jets are never going to win the Super Bowl going forward. Anyway, it's over. All right, so it is what it is. They had their chance and they blew it. All right, so we got Houston Texans. CJ Stroud going to have a day. You're going to have a day. All right, so anyway, let's get to these next games here because I'm trying to keep it under 30 minutes in these preview shows. All right, Cowgirls in the building. Shout out to the Cowpokes. The Cowpokes, Cowboys, and the Panthers. I'm not a betting man. I never bet Dallas. I don't care what the totals look like. But you got Dallas 10.5 point favorite. They're definitely going to choke on that. All right. They're definitely going to choke on that. They're definitely not going to cover that. All right. 10.5 Cowboys. I'm saying they're not going to cover. All right. What do we got here? 42.5 point with the over under. They may cover that. If the Panthers win, cancel the Cowboys. All right. I might take the Panthers in the points. Because if they hit the under, that means Panthers did something. All right, listen, I'm not telling you what to do. I got Carolina here covering this 10.5. Dallas Cowboy, big disappointment somewhere. They're going to disappoint somewhere. Oh, Bryce is not playing? All right, scrap that. Somebody's checking the injury report. Thank you. Somebody's checking the injury report. Midwest's finest. Thank you, brothers. All right, but if the Cowboys lose this game, you got to cancel them. All right, so Bryce is not playing. All right, so Andy Dalton's playing. All right, we got Andy Dalton. We got Andy Dalton. He got a concussion. All right, so we got Andy Dalton coming in. All right, hey, man, listen, Andy Dalton's a former Cowboy, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't he play for the Cowboys for a cup of coffee? Let me look this up. Andy Dalton, get the redhead in there. All right, let me look at his. I think he played for the yeah, he did play for the Cowboys for a cup of coffee. He said, don't bet on that game anywhere. The red rifle is coming out. All right, shout out to him. All right, so we got, man, if Andy Dalton's playing in this game, isn't that some motivation? Oh, this is going to be a toss-up. It's going to be a toss-up. All right, Panther coach calling plays too. Oh, they're a mess. They're a mess. All right, so I got Dallas winning this game, but expect the unexpected in my opinion. Expect the unexpected. All right, what do we got next coming up here? Oh, what do we got next? We got 4 more games. Oh, another game. This is not going to be any good here. Giants and Commanders. Commanders, the Commanders coach fighting for his job. You got new ownership coming in there. They sold their whole defensive end. They sold one of the best players, young players in the NFL. All right, Chase Young, I believe his name is, whatever his name is. But anyway, to the 49ers, this is you're going to win. You got the Giants. Oh, my God. The Giants will probably not win another game. I just don't see it. Not with DeVito in the game. Washington favored by 8.5 points. I can't see, and the under is 37.5. I cannot see the Giants scoring more than 14 points in this game. They're just impossible to move the ball. Everybody knows they're going to run the ball to Saquon. Poor Saquon. Yeah, somebody will have a new, Rivera's done. I think he knows this. All right, I think Rivera knows this. And certainly if he loses to the Giants, he's really done. There's going to be an all-out bidding war for one Bill Belichick for no reason at all. For no reason at all. He's not going to win you a Super Bowl. Bill Belichick is moving. He might move over to Washington. They're talking about the Chargers now because that Charger coach is pathetic. I mean, well, listen, I'm trying to be nice. That Charger coach ain't it. So maybe San Diego Superchargers go and get Bill Belichick. I can't imagine him coaching on the West Coast. But, late in life, I have no idea. Who's got the Giants winning this game? Somebody said DeVito was the worst quarterback I've ever seen. Maybe second to Jamarcus Russell. Yeah, DeVito's absolutely. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's the coaches. I don't know if they're not letting him do what he needs to do. But the way he's performing, I don't know how he got in the league. I'm like, why would you even keep this guy? Even as a third stringer, how in the hell did he get a job? All right, listen. I'm like, wow, he must have the connection. Enjoy. He does. Somebody was like, all right, look, you got Daniel Boone, you got Tyrod, just give him a job. Just give him a job. The coaches don't trust him at all. Don't at all. And I've seen him in person. I've seen him on television. And I remember one game, they said he went 15 for 18 against the Raiders. I was like, when? All right, what are you talking about? Dump offs to Saquon, 15 for 18, my ass. They barely were getting across the damn 50-yard line, 15 for 18. Right? He got that connection over it. That guy, I don't think the coaches trust him at all. But 15 for 18, I had to look it up. I was like, he went 15 for 18 against the Vegas Raiders? Jesus. All right, so anyway, it didn't look good. It wasn't an impressive game. But nonetheless, the Giants are not going to win. Over it. All right, chalk it up. But it's not going to be a good game here. It's going to be an ugly game. What is it here? Over under 37.5. Ugly. All right. I don't know what the Washington Redskins need to do here. Yeah, 18 attempts is low. And I swear he probably didn't throw it over 10 yards that many times. Because quarterbacks are throwing it 48 times in a game. All right. Anyway, shout out to the Giants. All right. So I'm looking at some of the comments here. All right. We got the Buccaneers and the San Francisco 49ers. Here comes the 49ers. Tampa Bay, man. Sorry to see them fall from grace like this. I believe they were 4-1 this year. Yep. Hey, man, the quarterback, Baker Mayfield, I think he's not a bad quarterback. He's just erratic, inconsistent. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have some weapons. San Francisco looking to get back their momentum. after going on a 3-game losing streak. Tampa Bay is really headed nowhere. Not with Baker Mayfield, but Baker Mayfield probably would be better off served in Cleveland right now. 49ers a huge favorite at home. 12-point favorite with the over and under 41.5. But you got to watch out for that Baker Mayfield. He can keep it close. Somebody said, I smell upset. Well, here's the deal. You're not wrong on an upset here. You're not wrong on an upset. Baker Mayfield is always playing for his job every day. Every week he's playing for his job. I've seen him in person play for his job. When he played for the Chargers, flying off the plane with no playbook, beating the Raiders in an ugly game, by the way. San Francisco is fool's gold by this point. The gold rush is over. They're fool's gold. They lost 3 in a row, came back, beat up a surprise beat up team. But are they for real? Are they for real? They're playing at home. I can't imagine they lose this game. If they were playing on the road, I would put money on the Bucks and say the Bucks could get an upset, but the Bucks are going to travel all the way from Tampa Bay, St. Pete, and get whipped. All right, I'm saying the 49ers going to get back to business here. They're going to get back to business. I got Buccaneers losing. All right, we're going to find out. All right, the Jets and the Buffalo Bills. Bye-bye, Buffalo. I thought I done told you the Buffalo Bills, the magic is over here. I mean, they need to really consider what they want to do with this team. This team had their chance. The window is closing on this team. All right, everybody has figured out how to play Allen as a quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. Everybody's figured out how to play him. He's tough. He's gritty. He's grimy. He is Buffalo football. But they cannot put it together. They cannot put it together. And you got the Jets coming in. They're pissed. They coming in pissy. But the problem is they're coming in with a quarterback that can't do a damn thing. The over and under on this one has to be significantly low, 39.5. Bills favored by 7.5 at home. Bills Mafia with the momentum. The Jets are down bad. I was there. I saw the Jets fans. They down bad. They could not move the ball. They cannot do anything. They just couldn't do anything. They were just, had no weapons. So, and the Jet fans kind of know that. I just don't see the Jets winning this game. I think Buffalo, this is a must-win game. All right. Yeah. It's a must-win game. And sorry for the Bills Mafia fans. Sorry, your team. They're talking Super Bowl. Not anymore. This team, they figured them out. They figured them out. And I don't know what it is about them, but they just aren't the team that's going to be as dangerous as we thought. What do we got here? The LA Lambs and the Sea Hags, another team. The Seahawks are a team that I bet against every week, meaning like bet against in my head, not real life bets. And they continue to let me down every week. The Seahawks let me down whether they win or lose. The Seahawks, I don't know what the hell they're going to do. All right, I think they're going to be competitive. They do the opposite. I think they're going to lose. They start being competitive. I don't know what to do with this team. But right now, they are beating some pretty good teams here. All right, have they beat? Yeah, they lost to the Bengals. Then they beat the Browns, but lose big to the Ravens. I don't know what this team's going to do here. But Geno Smith, yeah, you bet against Geno. The Rams are pathetic. The Rams are not going to do anything. I'm not even scared of the Rams. They went and got waxed by Green Bay. Then they got waxed by the Cowboys. Then they lost to the Steelers. They're on a steamroll. The biggest win they had was the Cardinals, and then they lost to the Eagles. They're what? 1-4? One out of their last 4 games. Yeah. They need a win. They ain't getting one this weekend. I got the Seattle Seahawks with the dub. Let me check on what Vegas thinks there. 1-point favorite, the Rams are. 1-point favorite. The Rams are favored by a point. All right, so interesting. What do you take, Seattle in the points? All right, listen. I think Seattle's going to cover. This could be easy money for you. All right, here we go right here. Seattle should cover this one. Seattle +1. Anyway, what do you have to lose? All right, I don't see the Rams even blowing them out. I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do with the Seahawks. Wait a minute. Do I have the wrong game? Oh, okay. I had the wrong screen up. I was like, how are the Rams playing twice this week? All right. So last couple of games, Vikings. This is the Sunday night game. All right. This is a Sunday night game. I got Denver here on a roll. You got two hot teams here. Denver, Minnesota. Shout out to Russell Wilson. I know we always root against him. He's fun to root against. You have Seattle -1? Or I thought I had Seattle +1. Well, that's on DraftKings, so it might be on another site. I think I'm taking Seattle. But here we go right here. Is it snowing in Denver? You got the Vikings coming out here. But the Denver Broncos are world beaters. They're on a roll. All right, they beat the Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, and they beat the Packers in Green Bay. I mean, this team, this is 3 wins in a row. Should we start letting Russ cook? All right, should we start letting Russ cook? All right, but the Vikings, how about the Vikings, though? The Vikings are on a roll. The Vikings have won 2 games after losing Kirk Cousins. They beat the Saints and the STI Dirty Birds, and they're coming off a win off the Packers. 3 in a row. Actually, 4 in a row. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Am I looking at this right? The Vikings have won 5 in a row. The Vikings have won 5 in a row. All right, so they're definitely hot. Wait a minute. What is their record? I got it all wrong here. The Vikings have won 5 in a row. This is nuts. Let me look at this. Yeah, Jesus. They won 5 in a row. All right, so, oh, man, this is going to be a tough one. I got Denver coming off the high, all right, and the mile high. All right, 3 in a row, 2 teams they beat. If Russell starts winning, we got to look out for Russ. Maybe Sierra's giving them a little something. All right, somebody said the ride stops here, man. Bronco country, let's ride. But I think they're going to lose this game. What is Vegas talking about here? Sunday night game should be entertaining. 42.5 over under. Denver favored by 2. Does the ride come to an end for the Vikings, though? You know, they got the guy over there. Somebody called him Guru from Gangstar. I don't know, man. This should be interesting. Maybe Russell saw the nanny goat. Yeah, give me them points. Give me them points. Give me them points. Vikings. And give me them points. All right, here we go right here. I'm looking at this as a upset. I don't think Russ is going to cook this game. But if he does, I'm going to be scared of the Broncos here. All right, last game, Monday Night Football. This is the game of the week. The game of the week. The Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Swifts. Man, the Kansas City Swifts, man, they need to get rolling here. They haven't been, listen, they're 7-2, but they have not been impressive, to be honest with you. They've just been mailing it in. They beat the Dolphins, but not an impression fact. They've just been sneaking by people, right? Ugly wins, ugly L's. They're coming off an L against Denver. Then they went to have Miami. They had a 20-something point lead, or it was 21-7. They barely win, don't score in the second half pretty much. You know, they started off the season with an L, so those were their 2 L's. And that was a 1-point L. So they're really, really a dominant team without even trying. The Kelsey Bowl. So what do we got here, man? This is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough call. Let me see what Vegas is looking at. They're looking at Chiefs favored by 3, perhaps because they're at home. We're going to light up the scoreboard in this game. Over and under 45. We going over. I'm going over here, although the Chiefs haven't put up a lot of points. The Eagles are going to fly high in Kansas City. The Eagles. Somebody's going under on this one. Well, Kansas City, I mean, there's a reason why you would say that. In the last couple of games, Kansas City hasn't been doing anything. They haven't been putting points on the boards. Let me see here. Let me pull up the Chiefs here. I always like to see here. They got 21 here, 31 there, 20. They put 9 up over there, 19 there. All right, 27, 23, 41. I don't know what they're gonna do. You going under on this game? What about the Eagles? Is the Chiefs defense going to stop the Eagles from scoring? Man, this one going to overtime. I'm taking the over. All right, here we go. This is an overtime game. All right, look at the Eagles over here. 31 points. Man, this one's going, what is it? What is the over under? 45. I'm taking the over. All right, here we go. This one's going to overtime. It's going to be a tight game, down to the wire. They go OT and they bust the over. All right, anyway. Yeah, Colorado did get boat raced. Oh, man, this is going to be a tough one. I got Eagles right now for the win, but it wouldn't surprise me if Kansas City. Who am I supposed to pick here? I need to make a pick. Stop being a coward about it. I got Eagles. Eagles with the win. All right, you guys are going with the under. All right, hey, listen, no argument for me. I got overtime, Eagles. All right, what other sports do we have to talk about? College basketball in full swing. Time to get your college basketball on. I love college basketball. This is my time of the year, fall. I was college basketball coach, so this is in the thick of it. You got teams winning their local regional tournaments. The Maui kickoff, the College of Charleston bash, right? You got these little tournaments coming up here. You got some good teams playing together, showing what's up. And college basketball is definitely my favorite time of the year. All right. So I'm looking forward to once the college football kind of tames down a little bit, which next week is really the last week of college football, right? The sorry teams are done for the year next week. All right, but then you'll have the championship games for the conferences. Then we'll be getting into the early bowl season in the first week and a half of December. So you'll have some sorry-ass teams barely qualifying for bowl games, playing in the Potato Bowl, in the Aluminum Foil Bowl, in the New Mexico Bowl, in the Las Vegas Bowl, the Potato Bowl, the Strawberry Bowl, the Raspberry Bowl. We'll have all of that. Who's the favorite for college basketball right now? Let's take a look at it. Let's look at the top 25, and then we'll talk about it. We're getting into the heat. Top 25 college basketball. Hey, Arizona's looking good. Arizona's looking good. We got the Dukies. Give me the rankings here. Give me the rankings. My computer screen won't roll up. The Soul Gold Bowl. Yeah. All right, get this advertisement up here. We got Kansas. Dude, I think Kansas is going to be good. All right, if I'm not mistaken, they have Purdue here at number 2. They're not going to end there. Excuse me, a bit under the weather here. Purdue is ranked number 2 in the college basketball AP poll. Whatever you do not pick Purdue to advance anywhere. All right, this is good. This is fool's gold right here. All right, Purdue's gonna choke somewhere. They're choking somewhere. All right, Purdue ain't it. Arizona crawls all the way up 9 spots after they upset, I believe, Duke. Kansas is always not to be trusted, but every now and then they'll break through. You just don't know. Marquette, look at that. Look at our guy from VCU. What's the guy's name? What's his name? I can't remember. You know me with names, but the coach from Purdue, VCU that went over to Marquette, he went somewhere else in between Marquette, if I'm not mistaken, and didn't do very well. You know, my memory needs to serve me. But, yeah, he's a cool little coach. They got him at number 4, Marquette. Are you kidding me? Shaka Smart. All right, Shaka Smart has Marquette at number 4. Man, give me a break. Man, he knows somebody. He knows somebody. And listen, they had a good run last year in the NCAA tournaments. They had a good run. But number 4, are you kidding me? What is going on here? UConn is a sleeper. Houston is always good. I actually just saw them play the other day. They're solid. All right, Tennessee. I don't know about all that. Creighton. All right, don't worry about that. Dukies will be back. They'll bounce back. Florida Atlantic at 10? What? They must know something I don't know. All right, here we go. Gonzaga. The Zags 11. Okay, I'm trying to see here. Is this the women's poll? What is this team here? USC. Look at Kentucky. They didn't look very impressive, but I think they beat Kansas. Did they beat Kansas? Nah, Kentucky beat. Is this poll? Oh, this must be an old poll. Let me see here. What are we doing here? When is this? November 13th. This is this week's poll. Didn't Kansas and Kentucky play? I can't remember. All right, Michigan State, Texas, North Kakalaki down there. And then Villanova, Alabama, Illinois, James Madison. James Madison, what's going on in their athletic program? This looks like the women's basketball poll. This looks like the women's basketball poll. All right, because Colorado, they just going to give Colorado in there. All right, Colorado's hot. Throw them in there. Colorado women beat LSU, although I know the Colorado women's coaches. I like them. Colorado went. Did they beat LSU in the game one? What is this poll? What is this? Oh, my goodness. All right, this poll looks weak. James Madison in there in the top 25. Of course, they're undefeated in football right now, and they got completely screwed by the NCAA. NCAA is like, damn, we got to put James Madison in the damn Fiesta Bowl. Right. All right. So they don't want that. They're like, we have Hyde no hair. We don't need this. So let's ruin their season real quick. All right, give them a wake-up call. You thought you were going to go undefeated and get in there like Boise State. I don't think so. We're not about to lose money. We'll rather take Colorado than put James Madison in the Fiesta Bowl. All right, what's going on at JMU? Anyway, other than that, we got F1 series this week. I can go to the races. I believe the race starts at 11:30. I'm just not interested in the race. It's pretty much just a big ass concert right now. It just has been nothing. Oh, do we have super chats? I missed it. Sorry, y'all. We got super chats. I've been slipping. Shout out to the working man. Okay, my bad. All right, Coach Suave says, I subtly understand Cassie. We were talking about the betting there, the Working Man podcast. Coach, you were right. Damn near everyone that got big contracts got injured. We need to do something about these NFL coaching contracts. This is crazy. I mean, quarterback contracts. I don't think we need to be paying all these quarterbacks this much money. Coach, but quarterback's the most important part of the team. All right, Coach Suave says, don't forget the Taylor Swift factor. They're undefeated. Who did I got? Philly there? They're undefeated with Taylor Swift. And I heard the Swift family will be at the game. So it was Taylor Swift's mom and dad and Tay-Tay and your boy Taylor Swift boyfriend going to be at the game. And the Swifties. Boy, don't you love the Swifties. They all look alike. Have you ever seen a video from a Taylor Swift concert? You see those Swifties there? All iron about boards. All long brown hair. Yeah, that changes everything, doesn't it? Yep, that changes everything with the Taylor Swift factor. And it's going to be, they're going to be showing the cameras, the Taylor Swift family. Oh, it's going to be nauseous. Is that game prime time? That's a Monday night game. That you're going to be wanting to throw up in that game. That's the Monday night game. That game's going to be atrocious in terms of all of the hype they're going to have around the Swifts. It's going to be, all right, anyway. She's going to be the halftime show. All right, let me see here. And then shout out to the Organized Truth Salute CGA. What are your thoughts on LSU and Angel Reese? She mysteriously got benched and didn't suit out yesterday. Did clout get to her head? Yes, absolutely. And Kim Mulkey is not to be played with. See, Kim Mulkey's an old school coach, but these old school coaches going to realize real quick that you ain't going to be able to do what you used to be able to do with these players. All right. So they got the girl that transferred over from Louisville, the white girl with the braids. All right. And so they came in there hype. Angel Reese is, she's the darling of sports. Everybody's crawling up her, they trying to get a sniff of Angel Reese. And so, but Kim Mulkey's like, Kim Mulkey is like, I'm the big dog here. All right. And she's the little dog. But these coaches, these old school coaches aren't going to be able to get over because at some particular point, they're going to tap Kim Mulkey on the shoulder and they like, you got to play Angel Reese. I don't care if she disobeying your little rules or not. You cannot be over here benching Angel Reese. You cannot be out here traveling, especially if they got betting on women's sports, right? This ain't the old days. You can't just be out there, she broke a team rule, all right, and sit your player down. You got to let these players play. This ain't the Bobby Knight rules. So, yeah, man. And I think women's sports right now, he says they're softening the game so women can play it. Yeah. The problem is now you have the NLI You have women and the players have just as much power as the coaches. And yeah, people said it was gonna ruin sports. It's just gonna change sports. The coaches are basically gonna have to walk on eggshells around the players. So I look at it as Angel Reese probably got the big head. Kim Mulkey basically said, nope, not on my watch, but let them lose another game. Somebody says she's showing Strags can make it. Yeah. So I think that's what's going to happen. And the funny thing is, she's not that good of a player per se. Like she's more of a double player, 10 points, 10 rebounds, that type of player. She does make a difference. And, she does have no quit in her when she's in the court. She plays with attitude. So, but she's not going to put up 30 and 15, right? That's not how she plays. But I think right now they're having a meshing problem. They're having a meshing problem. So, anyway, Iowa loses this week. Iowa lost this week. Let me check out the women's standings if we want to check out the women's top 25, if we're talking about it. And then we'll talk about F1. I don't know much about F1, but are they even going to have the race? That's what I want to know. All right. They definitely had some trouble getting the race off. If you haven't been following it, they had trouble with the sewer manhole, the covers, and it ruined a $7 million car engine. I mean, Jesus. So then they had to go around the track and they had to patch up every one of these manholes. It's crazy. Or woman holes. South Carolina, your top women's basketball college team, they're going to be untouched, but they're going to get challenged in the NCAA tournament, meaning the Final Four. UCL week is up there. Don't count on them doing nothing. But I think UCLA. No, that's USC. USC has one of the top players. UCLA, number 3. I wouldn't do anything with that. Looks like the Pac-12 got a lot going on. UCLA, Utah is always up there. We got Colorado, Stanford filling in 3, 4, 5, and 6. LSU dropping down. Connecticut lost as well. They're not a power anymore. Not like that. Not like the 3, 4, 5 championships they won in a row. Virginia Tech is a team to watch. They got good coaching, and they got a good little player. Little Gordita, she be balling out of control. USC at number 10. They normally are overrated, but they do have one of the top recruits in the nation as a freshman, and she can ball out till she falls out. All right. The rest of these teams, don't count on them doing a damn thing. All right. They ain't going to do nothing. The rest of these teams below 10, forget about it. Okay. Oh, by the way, Indiana at 18 is interesting. They had a good team last year in the last 2 years, but they lost a lot of seniors, if I'm not mistaken. Watch out for Indiana. They could creep in there. Everybody else, no bueno. That's all I need to say. All right. Everybody else, no bueno. Don't think nothing's going to happen with it. It's only the top 10 and nobody else. And really, it's South Carolina and nobody else. Iowa will contend, but they're beatable. They're beatable. And LSU better get it together. Formula One. UCLA got okay. Formula One. It's interesting. They're losing a lot of money. Las Vegas locals can't stand Formula One for one reason or the other. Really, they're like, oh, we can't get around the city. We can't get around the strip. Well, Las Vegas locals don't go around the strip anyway. It's only when we need to. It was very inconvenient driving around Las Vegas strip the last probably about 2 months. Lots of traffic. Absolutely ridiculous. They're going to do this event. They're going to make their money back. Ticket sales are in the dumps. If you can want you a ticket, you can get you a ticket. But about 6-7 months ago, they were selling these tickets VIP for $10,000 and up $20,000. I've even seen $40,000 for these F1 tickets. The race is supposed to be today. I heard they kicked out a lot of the fans the last 2 days on some of the viewing points. I don't know what's going on here. And but it's going to be an interesting event for Formula One, but they'll be here for the next 3 years. So I don't know why the Vegas locals are complaining. It is what it is. All right. Somebody said locals can go for 100. Yeah. They got them tickets are like cheap, dirt cheap. You can probably get in VIP for less than $1,000. All right. You can get any seat you want right now. They have plenty of seats. And this is for the junior college. The junior college girls all over the world are here in town. Caitlin says, if the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl, the Taylor Swift saga will override the game. Bet for sure. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's going to be bad. Yes, it's going to be bad if the Chiefs make it, but I don't think there's nothing we could do about it. True Black says, Coach Stradamus does it again. Cassie settled. Yep. I might jump on. I got a couple things I need to do today. I might jump on the Coach Greg Adams channel or one of our Free Agent Lifestyle channel and talk about the settlement. Just absolutely shocking that what went down, which is essentially a divorce without a marriage. That's all that was. That was a divorce without a marriage. That's all it was. Organized Truth says, ring the bell on pro and college sports in 20 years. Whew. Well, with betting, I don't know. It's going to make sports interesting. I think the NFL was seen as not defeatable. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the athlete in 20 years is going to be a completely different athlete. Yeah, sports is not going to be what it used to be. Just with the corporate sponsorships, the amount of betting, can people trust sports? That's going to be the question. Can fans trust sports? Can fans afford to go to sporting events and trust sports? Because you got teams. This should be an interesting video right here. Okay, right. The thing is, the athletes aren't as competitive. You have a watered down product. You got too many teams. You got teams that are never going to be competitive, right? Charlotte Hornets are never going to win, right? They're never going to win the championship. Forget it. You got teams that are never going to win a title unless they have something happen. Even Milwaukee Bucks would have been one of those people, but Giannis came around. You got teams that are not going to win for 20, 30 years, meaning like they're not going to win a championship, go to the playoffs, make it past. It's going to be the same old, same old. You have teams and players that do and are aware of betting lines, over and unders, and stuff like that. The more you start, the more, it's just a marketing tool. It's just about selling jerseys, Taylor Swift effect, being able to bring in a broader audience. Once you bring in a broader audience, you have to water down the product because people are going to be like, hey, these players are going to hurt themselves. So you're going to have basically touch football by that particular point. If you've seen football from what it was even 15 years ago to what is here today, and don't even talk about 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Like football 30 years ago to what it is today is not even the same game. And I see things happen on the football field and like, oh my, that poor guy, that guy hit that guy. Oh boy. And yes, I believe we should protect players, but it's going to be touch football by the time you get to 20 years. So what is going to be the value? Yeah. But 30 years ago, gosh, when I'm looking at the San Francisco, Jim Burt, when I'm looking at the New York Giants, Lawrence Taylor versus Jim Theismann. I think I said Jim Theismann, but whatever his name is, Theismann. When I think about the Chicago Bears and some of the teams that I was watching, the Washington Redskins, when I think about, Bill Romanowski, Ed Reed and Deion Sanders and some of these guys, Sean Taylor, when I think about what these guys, Joe Theismann, I say Jim, all right, but Joe Theismann. When I see what these guys were doing 30 years ago, and I see what people were doing 15 years ago, people were headhunting receivers. Headhunting. Like they could headhunt you like you're about to catch the ball and they could just wipe you out. Ronnie Lott, Dave Stewart. So that the game is changing some people for the safety of the players. In 15 years, it changed. What is it going to be in 15 years? 15 years from now. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, it was a different time. So I don't know if we ring the bell. I just think it's going to be just entertainment. But can the normal people afford it? That's the question. Can normal people afford? All right, what's going on here? Yeah, Sean Taylor. I wish we could pull up some clips. Oh, yeah, somebody said flag football at the Olympics coming up in a couple of years. So people are going to start seeing even the quarterbacks, what they used to do to quarterbacks, blindsiding them, trying to knock them out the game. This was 30 years ago. Like you would knock the quarterback out of the game. And that was the intention. Also, people were saying injuries ruined the game. You give a player $265 million guarantee or $235. He gets injured. The team is set back years on one player's contract. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. So anyway, that's our video for today. We hit an hour. Shout out to y'all. Good luck on your sports predictions and all of that stuff. And I'm going to go take some medicine, perhaps take a nap. All right. And we out of here, brothers. Peace.
I'm going